what I learned about fasting. So basically, in this video, I'm just going to give you a little context, some information about what I have learned so far about fasting and the different types of fasts that I have experienced and I've learned about as well. So, the four categories that I've come up with is the dry fast, the water fast, the juice fast, and the fruit fast. So, the dry fast essentially is no water, no food, no juice, no tea, just straight nothing. You're basically surviving off of the sunlight, like a plant. You're like a plant essentially. So you're surviving from when you take your baths or showers, whatever water seeps into your pores and gets inside of you that way. Or when you're out in the rain, whatever water falls down on you from your head down to your feet, you're surviving from the nutrients that come from the sunlight like a plant, essentially. And if you look far back, you will see where it has been told that you would die after a certain period of time without food and water. Now, I believe I read somewhere that it said 3 days, but I have found that that is not necessarily true. Now, let me do this at this point. I should have prefaced this video, but let me say this right off the bat. I am not a physician. I am not anyone's consultant. This is information that I have gathered. I would recommend for you to do your due diligence, do your find out what your body, what your system can handle. We're all different. This is in no means do I want any of you to hurt yourselves on this journey if you choose to try any of these things. But I'm telling you from my experience, what I have learned, what I have gathered, what I have found out through these experiences. You will hear people try to refute these claims. You will hear people disagree with these claims and findings, which is fine. A lot of people said the same thing about Dr. Sabi. But for this video isn't really for those people. This video is for the people who know about fasting already or who have an idea. What you can also do, because this is a biblical this is a biblical practice. Fasting in general is a biblical practice. I actually in my What the Bible Says playlist on my channel, you can actually find a video specifically about fasting in scripture that covers fasting. So, dry fasting. I believe I did 3 days and it was unintentional. For whatever reason, it just happened that way. I was scared because I did hear also, that you'll die after 3 days. I think it's like 3 days without food and water. So, experiencing that myself, I found that that was a farce. Water fasting. So, I have seen several videos on fasting over the years. I've personally experienced water fasting over the years. The longest period that I have ever gone to date, water fasting has been about 8 days. And it was very intense because I was doing it at a time that I was at a government internship. I was essentially living on dorms in this college campus at the time. So it was an interesting experience because I know the people around me noticed that I wasn't eating. And then to top it off, I was going to work, I was on the subway, and I was also working out. And it was amazing because it was the first time in my life that I ever had a little pack. My whole life I've always had a little pudge. It was the first time in my life I had the closest thing to a flat stomach. Now, don't get it twisted. This journey is not about, it's not so much about the exterior as it is the interior, especially if you're doing this for spiritual reasons. That should be your foundation. That should be your basis, because as we know, as we have found out, it all starts on the inside and everything else comes together. Everything you do should start from what's centered, the inside of you. It should never be a start from the exterior. It should never be a motive coming from the exterior. It should be starting from the inside, from the core of you. So, yes, one of the benefits is that you will look good, that you will become attractive to others. But the truth is, you are really attracting others because of what is emanating from the inside, because of that discipline that you are practicing, because of that self control that you are maintaining. Now, and it just elevates you. Fasting gives you mental clarity, spiritual awakening. You essentially ascend in so many areas of your life. Your eyes are open to so much. You rid yourself of so many toxins, the pollutants that are in all of us. You are purging yourself of those things. It's a beautiful experience, and any of you who know, you know. So, the water fasting is great because while you are not eating food, you are still getting fluid in your body. Now, the juice fast is great, especially for beginners. What I would recommend though, although the best juice, as I've said before, is straight up pure fruit juice. If you buy a juicer and you have just some apple juice, or if you want to dibble and dabble in the mixes. I've never really been super big on the mixes. That may be something that I look into moving forward, but I'm a simple girl, so I like just a simple juice, just a simple cantaloupe juice, just cantaloupe, just a simple. The only juice that I consistently mix is I put the spinach in my currant juice, because I do like that healthy kick from the spinach, but it's so bitter that I need something sweet. So that currant is perfect. It's beautiful to balance that out. The juice fast though, what I would recommend for beginners, start yourself off small. And by that I mean there's this smoothie that I like. It's called Naked. Now I'm kind of picky, so there are only two really that I do. They have several different ones, but the only two that I really like. I really like the mango. I love the mango, and I guess because that's mostly a fruit based smoothie. It's called Naked Mango. It might be called Mighty Mango, but mango, Naked Mango, and it's orange. And last time I checked, it was about less than $10. That's for the big one. And if you're just doing, like, if you start off, depending on your tolerance, you may not be able to just do the one glass a day. So if you want to start off with just the smoothie, which is thicker than the juice, I would recommend that. If you're just starting off for the first time, that would be good, because it'll be a good way to get your system prepared. It won't be too intense. You're still gonna, by switching over from food to juice, you're still gonna get that flush effect. You're still gonna have, stuff coming out of your body rapidly. So what I always recommend for people, especially first timers, make sure that you start your fast at a time when you have that space to cleanse. So if you have a job, say if you're a teacher and you aren't able to keep running to the bathroom throughout the day while you're working, maybe wait until the weekend. So what I would recommend is, say if you're a teacher, so you're off on Saturday and Sunday, I would recommend that when you get home on Friday, let that juice be your meal. Or if you're worried about maybe having to run to the bathroom in the middle of the night, then start Saturday morning. That would be perfect. So if you're a teacher, I would say maybe you just want to do it once a week to start off, just to learn your body, to learn the way your system purifies itself, so that you can learn yourself. And that's a beautiful thing about fasting. You learn yourself. You learn how your body regenerates. You learn how your body heals and repairs its DNA, heals and repairs those damaged areas and spaces inside of you. Because that's essentially what a fast is doing for you. It's a sacrifice. You're sacrificing these things that you think you love, that you think you want, and you get the reward of elevating yourself and healing yourself. So I would recommend, say if you're a teacher, I would recommend that Saturday morning, that's where you start. So three to five should be fine. I wouldn't go more than five. Three should be good. So basically replace the juice, a nice size cup, whatever you feel comfortable with. That's your meal. So instead of your regular breakfast, have a nice big cup of mango smoothie. Instead of your regular lunch, have a nice big cup of mango smoothie. Instead of your regular dinner, have a nice big cup of mango smoothie. And do that every Saturday until you feel like you're used to it enough to where, oh, I can do this on Saturday and Sunday. And I know, I regulate my body to the point where I know I'll be good. I know I can still, operate in my workspace and everything is good. Fruit fast. Fruit fast is good as well. If you don't want to just straight deep dive into the juice, because essentially, the juice fast, which sometimes when I've done the juice fast for extra nutrients, I would like to, because I look at the juice fast as a other than water fluid fast. So the juice fast is amazing because it's almost to me akin to when you go to the hospital and they tell you that you're dehydrated, you need fluid, so they put the IV. It's like an IV. So basically, instead of, food having to digest and work through your system, that juice just automatic. It just goes straight to the bloodstream. So, the fruit fast, that's a little bit of a slower process, but because it's fruit and depending on which fruit, it's still going to push things out of your system, but probably not as intensely as the juice. I would still, though, recommend the same thing because that fruit is no joke. My favorite fruits are apple, watermelon, cantaloupe, strawberry. Pears are cool too. Um, and I like cucumber as well. Cucumber is technically a fruit. It has seeds. Or at least that's the belief. So there's a lot behind that. There's a lot of history behind that, where certain foods were declassified and reclassified. It's more of like a capitalistic thing. It's more of a money thing. But you can do your own research and look into that. But to my understanding, cucumber is actually a fruit. But if you wanna, wipe that off of the list, then the five that I would recommend for you is apple, watermelon, cantaloupe, strawberry, and pear. Pear is at the bottom of the list. I love strawberries because it's filled with seeds and it's delicious. And when you're fasting, especially, strawberries can be tart, but when you're fasting, you can really see those sugars and really get that nice little, sugar intake for those of you who crave sugar. I love apple because it's available every day of the year. Summertime it's available, wintertime it's available. Apples are amazing fruit. I love apple. And it's very rare to find an apple without seed. Just like I've never seen a strawberry without seeds. And with fruit in general, you want to veer towards the fruit with the seed. I love watermelon, but if you notice more and more, it's hard to find a watermelon with seeds. I don't know what that's about. Well, actually, I have an idea of what they got going on. But I haven't deep dived into that research. But so far, I've never seen an apple without seeds. So far, I've never seen a strawberry without seeds. So if you're specifically looking for the fruit with the seeds, those are two great ones. I've never seen a cantaloupe without seeds either. But apple is the number one that I recommend. You know the saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Turns out it's true. But again, apple is packed with fiber. And if you're fasting on just apples, you're probably going to eat a good amount of them. Same thing I recommend starting with any fast, essentially. For those of you who are off on the weekend, start small. You know, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And the thing I think with a lot of people when they do the fast, because of those, they're not used to those rapid reactions in their body, so they may think this is not what's supposed to happen. That is what's supposed to happen. But they also may not be able to sustain it because it conflicts with whatever schedule they have, and they don't have that ability to keep running to the restroom, or to maintain themselves while everything is trying to come out. So I would recommend weekend. If you're off on the weekend, whatever day you're off, I recommend start small. Start just one day a week. If you got to do one day a month, but I think that's too minimal. I would recommend at least one day a week. Start one day a week and go from there. And I wish you well on your journey. For those of you who have experience with fasting, I'm curious to know. You can comment and let me know, what fast you have done, how long you have done them, what your knowledge is on fasting. And for those of you who are new to this and you want to try it, do your due diligence, do your research, and customize it for you. We are all different. We are all individuals. We have different blueprints. We have literally different fingerprints, all of us. So my fingerprint is not going to be the same as yours. My blueprint may not be the same as yours. So do your due diligence. Find out what's going to work to you. Map out a plan that is specifically for you and how you want to do your fasting, how long you want to do your fasting. Oh, one more thing. The one that I didn't mention was intermittent fasting. And I think that I'm going to add that to the list. That's probably the ultimate best way to start. The four that I mentioned, they are essentially they're the deep dives. Intermittent fasting, I'll add that to the list under fruit fast. So intermittent fasting is the supreme way to start because that's the baby steps. So basically, intermittent fasting is when you say, okay, instead of 3 meals a day, 4 snacks and a dessert, I'm just going to eat 1 meal a day. Or I'm just going to eat 2 meals a day. I recommend the 1 meal a day. You won't die, I promise. But again, I am not by any means claiming to be anyone's physician. Do your due diligence. I recommend if you're going to consult with a physician, seek someone who is well versed and educated on holistic healing, because otherwise you may get conflicting information, you may get bad advice. Do your due diligence, do your research. This is not a one-stop shop. This is just a source of information for you. You still got to do the footwork. You still got to, deep dive on your own and get more essential information for yourself. So intermittent fasting is amazing because you can still eat, but you're going periods without eat. So breakfast, which essentially means breaking your fast. So we technically we already sleep. When we sleep, we're fasting. So a lot of people get 10 hours of sleep, and that 10 hours essentially you are fasting. You're not eating. Your body is resting. Your body has the time to heal itself in that period of time. That's why a lot of us, we may be exhausted and tired and drained. We go to sleep and it's like we're renewed, we're refreshed. Our body has been taking that time fasting. resting, repairing itself, healing itself in that short period of time. So if your body does that naturally just when you sleep, imagine what's going to happen when you're more proactive and you say, okay, I'm going to cut these things out. I'm going to cut these GMOs out. I'm going to cut these sugars out. I'm going to cut this junk food out. It's amazing. It's rapid. So intermittent fast, that's the supreme way to start. You know, if you're new to this, if you're a baby in this, then intermittent fast is the way to go. Again, I recommend the 1 meal a day. And there are books about this. Books about, eating 1 meal a day. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad speaks of this. But I'm going to tell you my version. Personally, if you're going to do the 1 meal a day, I recommend that it be the healthiest meal possible. Because again, I don't recommend, if you're fasting, if you're looking to change your life, if you're looking to improve yourself, certain things got to be cut out. I don't recommend the snacks, the unhealthy snacks. I don't recommend the tasty cakes and the ice cream and the fast food and the junk food. I do not. Because you're not going to get the results that you're desiring. So if you're going to do the 1 meal a day, I recommend something hearty like a homemade, if you do your own little Caesar salad or something, something hearty, so you don't feel like you're starving, you feel like you're getting something. Personally, I think we're all going to need to get back to Genesis at some point, and what I mean by that is cutting out these animal products, these animal byproducts, getting back to nature, getting back to just straight out the ground, straight off the tree. That's what I believe we need to move forward to. We need to move into in order to be our highest level of sustainability, our highest level of functioning. But for you that are just starting out, I'll give you some suggestions. In the kitchen with Brittany playlist, I actually have a little salad that I created myself. It's really simple. It doesn't have meat though. So for those of you that are vegetarian or quote unquote vegan, this would be good for you. I'm not really big on the vegan thing. I feel like I'm I'm not a big fan of the so-called substitutions. That's just me. I haven't deep dived into it a lot. I've tried the vegan stuff. Some of it to me is just gross. I feel like you're better off just eating the real thing personally. And I think if you're going to do the so-called vegan thing, I think you want to, really do your due diligence and figure out what are the substitutions really. Where are they coming from really? So me personally, I have questions still. So just with anything that you're doing, any major change that you're making in your life, in your health, do your research. Don't just go off of word of mouth. Find out for yourself. So in my in the kitchen with Brittany playlist on my channel, you will see a video. It's very brief, but basically I have a salad. It's just romaine lettuce, olives, and I think they're called pepperoncini. They're those little peppers. Anybody who eats Papa John's always puts one in your pizza box. That's what they are. And for those of you who are starting off small, they make good snacks. For those of you that don't mind like a little sour and spicy, those pepperoncinis, I've had those as snacks plenty of times, and also olives. I've had those as snacks. Those are a good healthy snack. It's not as healthy as raw and fresh, only because, I guess it's in some type of preservative liquid, but it's definitely healthier than a candy bar. It's definitely healthier than a bag of chips. So the salad is basically, and then it doesn't have salad dressing, which is amazing. So basically, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna chop up some romaine lettuce. You're just gonna add the olives, and what I typically do, I'll cut the olives in half And I'll also cut up the pepperoncini so that, it mixes better with the salad. But if you want, you can just pull off those stems of the pepperoncini and just eat them whole if you can stomach it. It is intense. It's got some kick to it. And instead of salad dressing, which is not really healthy for you, because it kind of defeats the point of eating a salad, to be honest with you. Unless you, I mean, if you want to make your own and you know everything that's in it, and you're very light to non-existence on those preservatives, because those preservatives are killing a lot of you. So I essentially just use a little bit of the juice from that pepperoncini. That's what I do instead of salad dressing. So it's extremely healthy. But if you're not ready to go that deep into the straight vegetarian, then what I recommend, Walmart and I guess other places, but I know Walmart because I that's where I got mine from. They have these salads. I think they're called chef salads. It's a nice size. I like the Caesar salad one, simple. It has croutons. It has everything you need. It's right there for you. All you got to do is just get the salad. So if you're going to do this, say for instance, you're just going to do salads for a week, just buy yourself 7 of those and just eat one a day. That could be your one meal a day. So that's a good way to start. For those of you that are new to this, good luck on your journey. For those of you that are familiar already with this, but maybe never heard of these other forms of fasting, well wishes to you in diving deeper into this journey. I hope that this information is helpful and useful to someone, and I wish you well on your journey and your experience with fasting.